So, I just finished reading Failed States by Noam Chomsky. Actually, before I read off my script, I'd like to, I basically wrote a script on, just talking about this book. And I was going to talk about a bunch of issues mentioned in the book. But after I wrote about just my initial thoughts on the book, well, the script's like 6 pages long, and I don't want to go to like a 45-minute video like I did last time. So, I'll just mention the issues I had in mind to talk about, and I'll make a follow-up video, after I've done the proper research to do so. I want to talk about the war in Iraq, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, public education in the US, and academic freedom and its effect on the IT industry, the Beirut bombing, and I think it was 93, Haiti, Rob Ford, and that's about it. Okay, so on with the my thoughts on this book here. Failed States by Noam Chomsky. Let's say the abuse of power and the assault on, on democracy. So, I just finished reading this book. Overall, it was an informative read, or at least, at the very least, it seems informative. It gave me information on one man's view of the effects of American foreign policy across the globe, with a focus on the Middle East and the U.S., and the ways in which according to Chomsky, the states funds and supports dictators across the globe, irregardless of their human rights record, so long as they support American interests. He talks about mainly Iraq, Israel, but also gives examples from Haiti, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Egypt, and Libya. Throughout the book, I can't help but think, maybe this guy's full of shit. Maybe he's maybe he's lying, and even if only partially. Fuck, lost my spot here. Even if only partially. Fuck, what was I? Maybe he's lying, even if only partially, so as to further his own political ideology. For all I know, that may very well be the case. Furthermore, he has a huge list of, fortunately, he has a huge list of references at the end of the book, so people can read all the things he referred to and reach their own conclusions. Ideally, I would like to do just that, and perhaps eventually I will. However, due to practical restraints, I kind of wanted to make a video today, mainly that of the availability of time. I will attempt to do what basically amounts to a very short and hastened version of such an attempt, and actually that's not true because I want to do a little bit of research of all those issues, and that's not going to happen because, yeah. So basically, all that you're going to hear today is my thoughts on this book without having done any real research whatsoever other than reading the book itself. I would say it describes my initial thoughts, but perhaps it better describes my initial feelings. Perhaps that would be a more apt description. I will say this. I felt a sudden need to go to the library and get a bunch of books related to the issues discussed, go home and start reading them. Now, everything there is true except the reading them part. I literally have been scrambling to get the script together in that time. But I did get a bunch of books related to the issues and yada yada yada. And I did rush there to do that. Like for the first time, I was extremely excited to go to the library. I'm not joking. I went like 100 in an 80 zone. And for those of you who don't live in Canada, that's kilometers per hour. So like, fuck, I don't know. Something in miles per hour, something really fast. I went 100 kilometers in the 80 zone and I went to the library and I was half an hour early and I'm there. I'm like, holy shit, there's free books. Free books on this cart saying free material, help yourself. I'm like, oh my God. And then I realized some of these books are like published this year, which I found strange because like I figured, oh, it's the books that, the library figures, oh, no one's reading, may as well just give them away, right? Well, that's not the case, apparently. I expressed my disgust almost when I said, holy shit, this book was published this year. Why the hell would they throw this away? And this lady beside me said, well, actually, some people come here and just draw books off for anyone to take. And I said, wow, that's really cool. Anyways, what did I write here? Right now, that will have weight as okay, yeah, I mentioned that. One of the things Chomsky begins with is how the states, from the end of World War II to present times, justified military intervention, first with the threat of the Soviets posed, and then shifted to global democratic proliferation. Chomsky seems to believe that both pretenses are shown to be false when further scrutinized. But the focus of this book concerns the latter. He argues that America's concern as a nation in regards to its human rights is both morally and legally obligatory, but they show a complete disregard for them anyways. He goes on to describe international human rights and the progress made on that front, and the various documents the states have signed. He provides the Israeli-Palestinian conflict as an example of which, providing death tolls, expert opinions, and other statistics that would seem to support his thesis. He doesn't paint a pretty picture of Israel, or that of, its government. He insists that the majority of the population disapproves of what Chomsky calls Israeli aggression, and continually ignores genuine attempts to establish. So I can barely read my own writing here. Continually ignores genuine Palestinian attempts to establish peace, or as peace. God damn it! Fuck's